Chapter 2 Angelica. Angelica, a working girl of Manila. In the above description it is mentioned that Professor John was presented with a line of girls on his first visit there, but his memory is not perfect here. Here is what actually happened. Angelica answered her phone. Kath was calling her. "Hey ANJ. Saul is calling us for a show-up. Seems that he's got another generous customer that's coming to the bar soon," Kath informed Angelica, calling her by her nickname ANJ, telling her about the latest message she had received from the bar manager. Angelica was in a 7-Eleven down the street from the bar where they worked. She had just popped out to get a snack. "Is that so? Where's Marie?" Angelica asked. "I think she's in the bar," Kath replied, as Angelica walked down Mabini Street towards the bar. Angelica had started working in the Gold Coast bar not long after giving birth to her kid, who was now about 2 years old. She worked in the bar driven by the hatred in her heart of the kid's father, because he had made her pregnant, but didn't want to have anything to do with the kid or her. He was just an irresponsible bum. She had no choice but to swallow her pride and work as a working girl in a bar to support her kid. Kath and Angelica were now back in the bar again. They had taken their places sitting on a long bench behind the bar counter, staring upwards at the backs of the guests who were perched on the high bar stools drinking. "Okay, girls. Wear your sweetest smile, because we've a good customer coming to the bar soon looking for a nice and sweet girl," said Saul, the bar manager, with a smile, trying to invigorate his stall of 10 or 15 girls sitting on the bench along the long back wall of the oblong bar. Most of the bar girls cheered, because this meant a good payday for at least one of them. Angelica, one of the girls sitting on the long bench, was lost in other thoughts, however. She was looking around the bar for her best friend Marie. She saw her sitting at the back. She hadn't yet been promoted to the line of girls on the bench, as she was new. Angelica thought her friend must be feeling a little uncomfortable sitting at the back listening to the girls cheering. "Quiet, girls. He's here," Saul shouted frantically as a tall lanky guy in British military shorts came into the bar, smiling from ear to ear. Portrait of Professor John MacLeod. "Good evening to all of you lovely ladies," said the English-looking guy. "Girls, this is Sir John. He will choose one girl now that he will take out for this night," Saul happily informed the girls all sitting on the bench with hopeful looks. John looked at each girl sitting in a line on the bench in the bar, trying to do their best to look seductive and innocent at the same time. As mentioned, Professor John MacLeod was visiting Manila doing field work for his research report. John's comments made all the other bar girls moan quietly in annoyance, as they had not been chosen by Sir John. "Great. You made the right choice, sir. That's Angelica, pretty and shy, but wild in romance," Saul said as he clapped his hands, thinking of the large bar fine they would receive for taking out. John just smiled and continued staring at the pretty petite doe-eyed girl. However, Angelica felt intimidated by this tall, erect man, but she still managed to smile while walking towards Saul and John MacLeod. She still felt shy, but happy at the same time, because the tall handsome man had chosen her in front of all the other bar girls. She felt proud and overwhelmed, and was looking forward to some financial reward to help her young kid and family. "Hi. I'm John. You look very pretty," John smiled at Angelica. Angelica became even more shy standing near the man. He was so tall and she was so small, so she had to crane her neck to look up at him. John paid the bar fine to Kitty, the mamasan behind the bar counter. He took the money out of his secondary wallet, that is, not his main stash of $7,000 in his security pocket sewn into the inside of his military shorts. He didn't pay attention to the amount, as it was only a small amount compared to the cost of things in his own country. "I'm Angelica, sir," she said as they walked towards the bar exit. "Just call me John, mi amor," John said dearly. It seemed that he really liked her a lot, which made her smile shyly. "We can go to my hotel room now, okay?" John explained softly. "Okay, sir," Angelica said, while walking behind him. "I'm staying at the New World Hotel." "Have you been there before?" he asked. "No, sir, I never been there," she replied in a broad Filipino accent. Of course, English wasn't Angelica's first language, which was Tagalog. However, most Filipinos are more proficient in English than their Asian neighbors, such as the Thais. They rode a taxi to go to John's hotel, although it wasn't that far away.